numbers that have come out is small businesses, the impacts of hiring or not hiring on the economy. There are companies out there who are really shining stars on how to come out of a recession, and maybe they didn't hire anybody during the recession, but one company in particular has a reputation, small business, for not laying off anybody. Now they're hiring and building, and this is my favorite line of getting to our reporter on this. Other businesses are asking the question now, how did they do that? How did they become an example of what to do? Our Julie Banderas is live from in Medford, New York, with our On the Job Hunt feature this morning with what I like to call good small business news. Oh, and I love the hat.
Oh, yeah, and I like to, of course, match the hat with the sweater, of course, because, you know, you're at a junkyard, but doesn't mean you have to dress like it. All right, so here we are at Gershow Recycling. We're in Medford, New York. We were here a couple years ago where we were at the height of the recession and small business owners were laying people off. Certainly they were not hiring, but here was a bit of, an exception. Not only were they not laying people off, but they actually have begun hiring again. They've actually opened up 2 new facilities. The question is, what is it about this small business that other small business owners don't know? And that's what we're hoping to get some answers today, maybe to help others out there that are wondering exactly how is it that you prosper in an economy like this. The jobless numbers coming out this morning or yesterday, and we're learning that the month of October has slowed dramatically. And so let's talk to Kevin Gershowitz. He is the owner here of Gershow Recycling, and he can talk to us more about exactly how it is that you guys have managed to not only stay afloat, but you guys have managed to not only open up 2 more facilities, but you're hiring. And that's incredible in this economy. How are you guys doing it?
Well, we watch our debt. We try to stay debt-free. We constantly reinvest in ourselves. We're building infrastructure. We're building training. We maintain our good staff and talented employees. And we have to be ready for when the economy recovers. So what we see is an opportunity to come, and we're reinvesting in ourselves.
How has business changed since 2 years ago? Last time we spoke, the government had come up with this Cash for Clunkers program. If people remember, Cash for Clunkers, where the government was actually handing out rebates for those people who wanted to take out their old clunker and turn it in. They'd get some money. It was a very short-lived program. It was supposed to pump money back into the economy or into consumers' wallets. Did it?
That program was good for us. It was good for a very few and bad for the taxpayers. It was great for us, but it really hurt the people that lower economic income, the poor people, the college students. We took cars that would have been in the used marketplace that poor people and lower middle class buy, and we destroyed them. My opinion, it was good for us, but it was nothing more than a feel-good government program that did nothing and cost the taxpayer a lot of money.
So when you say that you pump money back into your business, a lot of small business owners don't have the extra money. You guys spend a lot of cash in order to keep this place going. You do also get a lot of scrap metal, and everybody's trash is essentially your treasure, so to speak. But how is it that you get that revenue in order to put money back into your business and have the ability to hire and pay for all of these employees at this one facility? How many people do you have employed here?
About 250 people here.
And you have how many facilities in total?
We now have 8 facilities. We trimmed our budget. We trimmed our belt. We tightened our belt buckles. We watched excessive overtime. We cut out the fat. And by cutting out the fat and watching things and trying to make sure we create margin, we're still able to move in a forward fashion. And it is difficult to get financing today, even though we could, but we like to self-finance. We try to keep our debt low. Debt is a cancer. And so we've been able to move forward, and we have belief in ourselves, and we reinvest in ourselves.
It sounds to me like the folks in Washington could learn a lot from Gershow Recycling. You're talking about cutting the fat. That is the whole issue in our debt, that we need to cut spending. Is there something maybe that could translate as to what you guys are doing here at a metal scrapyard that perhaps politicians aren't doing in Washington?
Well, we act now. We know we need infrastructure here in this family business, and we act now. And we don't talk about it with a feel-good program or a jobs bill or an infrastructure bill, or we'll have construction-ready projects in 5 years. We act now.
And when you do see more and more materials coming in, that means old cars, old refrigerators, old metal products, does it give you the sense that consumers are spending more? Because honestly, if you're getting more garbage, that means people are buying new things. Doesn't that make sense?
We don't use the word garbage, and junk is our 4-letter word. But We can't get an old car if someone doesn't buy a new one. We can't get an old washing machine if someone doesn't buy a new one. So we get a good sense of what's happening in the real consumer world. The hardcore, the people on the street, we have a good sense for it. It's a bit on the quiet side. Scrap flow is not as great, but it could be a lot worse, and we're going to make do with what we have.
All right, Kevin Gershowitz, thank you very much from Gershow Recycling. So things are looking up, and like he said, it's not garbage, but trash is their treasure. And I guess the more stuff that they see here, the better it looks for the economy. So it really does say a lot about whether people are spending, and by spending, throwing out their old stuff. So, but it looks like at least things are on the up here. So hopefully that will reflect in other small businesses as this economy continues.
All right, Julie Banderas reporting live from Medford, New York today. Thank you very much. Appreciate it. All right, joining me on set now is Mike Ryan. He is the Senior Vice President of Madison Performance Group. We're going to keep the topic on jobs at this point, not so specifically about small businesses, but just in total. Break down the numbers for me this morning and what we really should be looking at, just in terms of the numbers, and then we'll get to the issues in a moment.
Well, the the 80,000 number rate is a little bit of a
80,000 jobs created.
Net new jobs created. Little disappointing, well below the estimates that most experts
The lowest in 4 months.
Yeah, and we continue to be hovering at the 9% unemployment rate.
Yeah, we ticked down from 9.1 to 9.0, but you say that's almost, you can't even feel that. Really.
That's also a product, I think, of the participation rate. I think many people have just stopped looking, which impacts the numbers.
Oh, I hear that again. I hadn't heard that in a while. Okay, well, we were talking off camera just momentarily ago. Before we got into Julie's piece there, we had taken a break, and you said something that really rocked my world. And it is so troubling for you people who are looking for jobs right now, and maybe even for those of us who already have jobs. There's a shuffle going on right now. And if you happen to lose your job, you're out of the shuffle. What's going on?
That's exactly it. When you look at the hiring